Hello, my name is Chris Harding and I'm one of the administrators of Beginning OpenFOAM. And I'm new to the area of OpenFOAM, but in this block mesh dictionary, as you can see, I use pointfield.h to create my points and create my geometry. And the code is contained within the vertices area. But I noticed that when I got to my blocks, the normal cell numbering is X, Y, Z, where 10 is X, 25 is Y, and 1 is Z. And the simple grading is 1, 1, 1. But I noticed that when I, for example, this is Y, so my Y direction I wanted to be split up in 25 cells, 25 lines, and, um, and it worked fine. But when I use the X, Y, and Z directions here, assuming this 25 was X and the 10 was Y, I needed to reproduce these right here. I needed to go 10, 25, and basically do the same thing down because it's a mirror of this geometry right here. It's a cylinder, a full cylinder. And I was getting an error that there was an inconsistent phases between 0 and 11, and that's so I thought my mesh wasn't matching up. And I remember one other time when uh, the X and the Y were switched that I ran into, and I don't know how it switched back, but I thought, well, maybe that's the problem. So I plugged in 25 for X here, which is not supposed to be. That means it's going to be split up 25 times in the X direction, only 10 times in the Y direction. But when I run the actual case, I don't get the error. And it runs and meshes. And I cannot use Parafoam foam block because it just doesn't work for me. And it crashes on me. Well, it doesn't crash, but it doesn't produce the points or the blocks, unless I actually deselect all the blocks. And the points are, as you can see here, the points are here, but they're all over the place. And I don't quite understand why. And I can't see the mesh with block mesh. But if I go ParaView, then I'm able to view the geometry. Well, I take that back. I need to run it again. So foam clean tutorials. And then I can view my geometry. And this is a 2 centimeter sphere. And then this is the domain in order to reduce the domain dependence on the flow and make it domain independent. And you can see that when I switch to surface with edges, that my mesh appears. And remember, this direction right here, remember this is 25, just like the top was 25 for the y direction, but this is 25 and I have to put it in the X spot in order to get it to mesh correctly. And that's the error. And you might have a hard time believing that the X and Y's are flipped, but I just showed you an example where the X and the Y are switched, and this situation right here. And once again, I'm going to go back. Remember, it's 25 in the Y direction, and this should be 25 in the X direction, but it happens to do it for the Y direction. And as you can see here, the X direction does not have 25, but there's 25 in the Y direction that matches the top portion of the geometry. So for some reason, um, it's abnormal for the lower geometry cells, and I have to put the y and the x is actually switched, where x is equal to y and y is equal to x. So I need your help because I don't want to continue on until I get this resolved, because I can go through and wrong in a wrong way, inappropriate manner, and use this in order to mesh my geometry, but there's something up and there's something wrong, and I'm wanting to try to figure out why that is. And thank you, and you have a nice day.